Good afternoon, Chair. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Emmanuel Nyalazi, Principal Auditor from Office of the Auditor General. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Chair. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Abednego Siriele, Principal Auditor in the Office of the Auditor General, Northern Province.
Good afternoon. I am Novinda Sinyani from the Planning and Research Directorate in the Office of the Auditor General. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Chair. Good afternoon, honorable members of the committee. Good afternoon, CS and your management team. My name is Mlenga Chama, coming from the Accountant General's office.
Good afternoon, Chair, and good afternoon, honorable members of Parliament and CHILUBI. My name is Jeffan Siame from the Office of Control of Internal Audit, Ministry of Finance.
Thank you, Chairperson. Good afternoon to you and the honorable members of your committee. CHILUBI Town Council, you are welcome to this session. Kazinga Kennedy from Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Chair. Good afternoon, members of the committee. Good afternoon, CS and the team. My name is Mulumbench Kasanka from Local Government Service Commission. Thank you.
Clerk's Office.
Good afternoon, Chair. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Keke Makua from Office of the Clerk.
Good afternoon, Chair, and thank you very much. Emmanuel Walia from the Office of the Clerk.
Honorable Member for Busakiri.
Afternoon, Chair. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Honorable.
Honorable members, Secretariat, our permanent witnesses, CS and your team from CHILUBI. Good afternoon and welcome. Kalobo Pavuma is my name. I represent the good people of Sakire constituency, Kitu and the Copper Belt. Thank you, Chair.
Good afternoon, Chair, permanent witnesses, honorable colleagues, and CHILUBI, welcome to your Committee on Local Government Accounts. I'm Honorable Dr. Aaron Mwanza, Member of Parliament for Kaumbwe constituency in Petauke District of the Eastern Province. Thank you.
Thank you. Magango. Mfumbwe.
Good afternoon, Honorable Chairperson. Good afternoon, honorable colleagues, our Secretariat, and all our permanent witnesses. CHILUBI, good afternoon, and you're welcome to your committee. My name is Elliot Kamondo. I'm Member of Parliament for Mfumbwe.
Thank you. Siavonga.
Chairperson, good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mulunda Darius, Member of Parliament for Siavonga constituency. Chairperson, I thank you.
Thank you. Vice Chair. Okay. Our Vice Chair is following us virtually, so is with us. My name is Mishek Mutetwa Nyambose. I represent the wonderful people of Chasefu constituency in the eastern part of Zambia, and I'm privileged to chair your committee, CS. Once again, we want to welcome you and say that before we start, if you have any information, if you have an addendum or any information that you feel relevant to this conversation or session, and you never give us, that information is welcome. Again, I want to appeal to you that this is your committee. Be calm and free, so that we learn how CHILUBI Town Council is administering the CDF. So that additional information is welcome, as long as it is in the numbers of 10 or whatever we can photocopy, but we admit it. With that said, take us through your report, Council Secretary.
Okay.
Vice Chair, are you there?
Yes, Chair, I'm here.
Yeah, you can greet the people and introduce yourself.
Good afternoon, CHILUBI. Welcome to Mandevu, where I'm privileged to represent the good people of Mandevu as their Member of Parliament. You're welcome to your committee. Christopher Shakafuswa is my name. I'm the Vice Chair of the committee. Thank you so much, Chair.
Oh, thank you so much, Chair, for getting connected. So, Chilubi, take us through.
Thank you, Chair. Before I make my submission, I wish to state that I have some documents that have to be included on the projects. I think I have 3 sets.
No problem. We shall make copies.
Yes, sir.
We are a very generous and understanding committee. So,
sure, sir.
Next time, as you come, ensure that there should be 10 per copy.
Sure, sir.
So that all members, we are 10 members of this committee.
Obliged, sir. Chair, I will go to specific audit findings. That is A. As I proceed, I will just go to the cause of query, action taken, and remedial measures, sir.
Yeah, that is how it's supposed to be, but we shall ask that you read the title of the query so that those who are following us by TV and radio, they know what query you are responding to.
Sure, sir.
In this case, you say A, lack of project identification documents. Then you go to management response.
Sure, sir.
Thank you.
So A, specific audit findings, that is lack of project identification documents. Management response, cause of query, we are saying we are acknowledging the findings of the Auditor General and wish to state that this was due to a separation of the document at the review stage of the committee sitting, which were not secured in time for submission. Chair, action taken. My management chair undertook a search and retrieved the missing minutes. In addition, management procured 2 more filing cabinets for CDF documents to address the challenge. I think this can be seen on Appendix 1. Chair, remedial measure, management will ensure that applications are always secured immediately after the close of every CDFC meeting. Additionally, management will ensure that CDF documents will always have sufficient filing space. B, Chair, irregular amendments stroke variation without approval. Chair, we are saying cause of query, we acknowledge the auditor's finding and wish to state that the variations were undertaken using the guidance of circular number MLGRD/101/22/151 of 2023, February, that had delegated authority to town clerks, council secretaries, under which the variations were approved. Sir, the action taken is that management has fully implemented the 10 projects. This can be seen on Appendix 2. Remedial measures, sir, management will ensure that adherence to public procurement is followed. C, sir, delayed completion of construction of 1/3 classroom block to Pira Primary School. Sir, management response is that cause of query, we acknowledge the findings of the audit and wish to state that failure to engage the contractors during the period stated was due to change in bidding system from manual EGP online recommended by ZPA, as most of the bidders had difficulties to bid, hence it was re-advertised. Sir, action taken. The local authority, through sensitization of contractors on EGP system, managed to advertise and add a responsive bidder. Contract was signed and works are currently ongoing. Chair. See Appendix 2. Remedial measures, sir. The local authority shall ensure that adverts are prepared on time and projects are undertaken within completion time. D, sir. Delayed completion of rehabilitation of 1/3 classroom block, Chichile Primary School. Chair, I wish to state that management acknowledges the findings of the auditor and wish to state that the failure to replace the roof and complete the works during the period stated was due to transportation challenges the contractor faced, as the school is located in the swamp that depends on water transport. The low levels of water in canals made transportation of materials difficult and to wait for water levels to rise. Action taken, sir. We wish to state that the works on this school, sir, is complete and operational. See Appendix 3, sir. Management will ensure that projects that are located in the swampy areas are undertaken timely. Sir, E, delayed completion of rehabilitation of 1/3 classroom block, that is Fuwe Primary. Sir, the cause of query, we wish to acknowledge the findings of the auditor, and we wish to state that the failure to complete the works leading to stored works for the project at 1/3 Fuwe Primary School was due to the contractor abandoning the site and poor workmanship. Action taken. The contract was terminated following the non-adherence of contractual terms by the contractor. In addition, management re-advertised the project, which is currently at procurement stage, sir. This can be seen at Appendix 3. Chair, the remedial measures, management will ensure that projects that are located in some areas are undertaken timely and as soon as well as maximizing supervision on contracts. F, delayed completion of works. Chair, I will take you to the next page, which is page 7 on the status of projects. That is table 2. Chair, on project 1, construction of the health post at Mususe, we are saying as at the we are saying that Chair, as at 24th, as at 30th April, sorry, Chair, let me take you to page 20. Yes, Chair.
Read the report as it is. Those responses or interventions will come.
Okay.
So why do you want us to go to page 20? We are moving with you. We are on page what?
Chair, let me come back. Chair, I'm stating that F, delayed completion of works. Chair, Section 15, sub 5 of the CDF Act of 2018, number 11, states that a project that is approved by the minister shall be funded and and the completion of the project shall be completed within the agreed contractual period. Contrary to this act, 14 projects that received funding in amounts totaling to 583,511 has been delayed for periods ranging from 1 to 15 months, Chair.
Before you proceed, the issue on page 6.
Yes, sir.
Delayed completion of works. What works are these? And there is no management response to that effect.
Chair, management response is on page 22, Chair.
So the matter is on page 6, management response on 26, on 20. On page 20?
22, sir.
Did you go through this report?
Yes, sir.
And you didn't make amendments to? From 6 to 26?
From 6 to 20 to 22, sir. These are the list, the numbers of the projects that didn't complete.
Oh.
Yes, sir.
Okay, 22.
So, Chair, I'm saying project number 1 is on Mususe. We wish to state, Chair, that the contract was terminated due to non-adherence of contractual terms by the contractor. Further, the project would be advertised this quarter, Chair. You can see this at Appendix 2.
Maybe, we want to be following you. CS. On page 6, see, is the query is delayed completion of works.
Yes, sir.
So we go to page 22.
Yes, sir.
That's where we are starting from.
Yes, sir.
Okay, going
up.
Okay.
Sure, sir.
So you started with the
Mususe.
Misuse.
Yes, sir.
Yes, you can go ahead.
Sure, sir. Thank you very much, Chair, for your indulgence. Project 2, Chair, construction of health post at Mutimba. Chair, action taken, we are saying the contract was terminated following the non-adherence by the contractor. Further, the project, Chair, will be advertised. This can be seen at Appendix 3, sir. Project number 3 is the health post at Shiva. Chair, management wishes to state that the contract was terminated due to non-adherence by the contractor. The project will be advertised, sir, on Appendix 3. 4, Chair, the construction of the rural health post at Maela. Chair, we wish to state that the contractor has completed the project. This can be seen at Appendix 3, Chair. Chair, project number 5 is the construction of the rural post at Chiwele. Chair, management wishes to state that the contractor has completed the work. This can be seen at Appendix 3. Chair, 6, construction of a rural health post at Mwanakasavi. Chair, management wish to state that the project has been completed. This can be seen at Appendix 3, Chair. Chair, project number 7, this is the construction of a health post at Kawangwe. I wish to state that management, the contract was terminated following the non-adherence to the terms of the contract by the contractor. Further, the project will be re-advertised this quarter, Chair. This can be seen on Appendix 3. 8, Chair, construction of the lecture theatre and skills laboratory at CHILUBI Nursing School. Chair, the contract was terminated following the non-adherence of contractual terms by their contractor. Further, the projects will be advertised, re-advertised. This quarter, Chair, this can be seen at Appendix 3, sir. Chair, project number 9, construction of radio station. I wish to state that the contract was terminated due to non-adherence to contractual obligations by the contractor. The new contractor has been engaged and the works are currently in progress. Sir, this can be seen at Appendix 3. Chair, 10, construction of 1x3 classroom block at Kapampa Primary School. Chair, management through procurement committee had considered the variation on the project and the contractor has resumed work. Sir, see Appendix 3. 11, Chair, rehabilitation of Mchinsi local court. Management wishes to state that the project has been completed. This can be seen at Appendix 3, sir. Rehabilitation of Boma Police Post. I wish to state that the contract was terminated following the non-adherence to the terms of the contract by the contractor, sir. See Appendix 13. 13, Chair, construction of 1x3 classroom at Tandauve Primary School. Chair, management wishes to state that the contractor has completed the project. This can be seen at Appendix 3, Chair. 14, Chair, construction of double VIP toilet at Kashitu Rural Health Center. Chair, management wishes to state that the contract was terminated following the non-adherence to the contract by the contractor. Further, the project will be advertised this quarter, sir. This can be seen at the Appendix 3, sir. Remedial measure, sir. Management will ensure that all projects are completed on time by enhancing monitoring and supervision. G, Chair, management of community projects. 1, delayed completion of the project. Chair, as at the 31st December 2023, 1 project had been completed, leaving 18 not being completed. The cause of query, sir, we admit the findings of the auditor. Action taken, sir, is that management implemented 15 projects in 2024, of which 8 have been completed. 3, sir, were not completed for the following reason: electrification of RIA. The project was under ministerial directive, and the amount of 1 million kwacha that was set aside was inadequate for the project to be implemented. B, supply and delivery of front loader. Chair, the front loader could not be procured because the market price was higher than the approved amount at the time when management initiated the procurement process. C, rehabilitation of MOF to room-free embankment. Chair, there were no successful bidders for the project. The project required additional funds. This can be seen on Appendix 3, sir. Remedial measure, management will ensure that all projects are implemented within the financial year. 2, lack of project identification documents. Chair, we are acknowledging the findings of the Auditor General and wish to state that the CDFC did not receive any application involving the clearing of channels and the procurement of earth-moving machines. Considering the clearing of channels and the rehabilitating roads in order to enable transportation of materials during implementation of projects, the CDFC agreed to include the Chava Bangouru channel and procurement of the front-end loader as projects which were beneficial to all wards. Chava Bangouru channel is the main route connecting the island to the mainland, sir. Action taken. Management undertook a search for the application I think management undertook a search of the application on repairing of X-ray machine for Santa Maria Mission, which was misplaced at the time of audit. This can be seen on the Appendix 4. Management will ensure that all applications have sufficient and secure filing spaces, sir. In addition, management will ensure that CDFC only approves projects submitted by WDCs. 3, Chair, failure to claim advance payment guarantee. But management response, sir, we wish to acknowledge the findings by the Auditor General. Action taken. Chair, management is in the process of initiating legal proceedings through the legal department of Kasama Municipal Council, since we don't have a director of legal. Further, management has I think I've explained that one. Chair, this can be seen on Appendix 5. Remedial measure, management will ensure that advance payments for contracts whose contracts are terminated are claimed within the contract period. Sir, H, management of empowerment loans. These are soft loans. One, failure to avail ownership documents. We wish to acknowledge, Chair, the query by the findings by the Auditor General. Chair, action taken. Our management wrote all the beneficiaries requesting them to transfer ownership of all equipment procured under CDF funds. Ownership has since been transferred to the local authorities, sir. This can be seen on the Appendix 6. Remedial measure, sir, management to ensure that equipment procured using CDF funds is registered in the normal name of local authority until the loan beneficiary pays back the loan in full. Sir, 2, failure to implement projects. Management response, we wish to acknowledge the findings of the Auditor General and wish to state that delayed implementation of projects was caused by failure by beneficiaries to adhere to the approved project proposals. Action taken, we have written to the CDFC's expressing concern over delayed implementation in February 2024. In addition, management undertook inspection of projects in order to provide assistance where possible, sir. This can be seen on Appendix 6. Remedial measures, Sir, management will ensure that projects are implemented on time. 1, management of bursary, secondary school and skills development. Chair, we have 2 there, failure to provide a consolidated list, student list. Chair, we wish to acknowledge the findings of the Auditor General and wish to state that this was due to failure by WTCs to prepare consolidated lists. Action taken. Management.
Sorry, that is page.
Page 37, sir.
Okay. Okay.
Sure, sir. Action taken. We wish to state that management prepared consolidated lists and invited the WDCs to the local authority for confirmation. In addition, management is sensitized all WDCs on how to prepare consolidated lists. This can be seen, sir, on Appendix 7. Remedial measure, management will ensure that WDCs always submit consolidated lists. 2, low student turnout, skills training. Management response, sir, we wish to acknowledge the findings of Auditor General's office and wish to state that low turnout is associated with marriages, lack of interest by some students, and long distances. Action taken. Chair, management is working hand in hand with community development and social welfare in sensitizing community members on the importance of education. This can be seen on the Appendix 7, sir. Remedial measures, management wish to ensure that it will continue to sensitize community leaders through their WDCs on the availability and importance of skills development bursaries. J, irregular payment of empowerment grants to unapproved beneficiaries. Chair, management acknowledges the findings of the Auditor General and wish to state that 10 applications were not signed by CDF chairperson at the time of audit. Action taken. Management wishes to state that it will ensure the applications were signed by CDF6 chairperson. This can be seen on Appendix 8. Remedial measures, sir, will ensure that all application forms are signed by CDFC chairperson. Chair, we tend to cross-cutting issues. Chair, that is budgeting, funding, and expenditure. Chair, management response. We wish to acknowledge the findings of audit and wish to state that the funds retained at source were withheld for the purpose of insuring of motor vehicles. Further, the balance of 2023 CDF funding against expenditure relates to 2023 CDF programs that were ongoing at the end of the year. Sir, action taken. Management wishes to report that a consideration of the 2023 CDF performance was taken and the results are as shown in the table below. See Appendix 9. Remedial measures, sir. Management will engage the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development. Appendix 2, total unspent funds. Management response, sir. Management wishes to acknowledge the findings of the audit and wish to state that the balances brought forward represents CDF programs that were ongoing and at the beginning of the year. The accrued interest represents interest earned on the main CDF and the revolving accounts. The balances at the end of the year 2023 represent CDF programs that were ongoing. So this can be seen on the Appendix 9. Remedial measures, sir, management will ensure that the projects are implemented on time. Appendix 2.1, Chair and Spent Funds, Community Development. Management wishes to acknowledge the findings of the auditor and wishes to say that the balance on the 2023 CDF funding against expenditure relates to 2023 community projects that were ongoing at the end of the year. See Appendix 9. Action taken, sir. Management wishes to report that a reconciliation of 2023 community projects was undertaken and the route as shown in the table below. Chair, remedial measure. Management will ensure that all funds are utilized. Chair, Appendix 2.2, Unspent Fund and Empowerment Grants. Chair, on unspent funds, management acknowledges that the auditor acknowledges the auditor's findings and wish to report that there was a saving of 700 from 2022 allocation, which was added to 2023. Action taken. Management added the funds to the 2023 allocation. Remedial measure. Management will ensure that all funds are utilized. Appendix 2.3, Unspent Funds, Empowerment Grants. Management response. We wish to acknowledge the auditor's findings. Action taken, Chair. Funds were added to the 2023 allocation. Chair, remedial measure will ensure that all the funds are utilized accordingly. Chair, Appendix 2.4, Secondary Boarding and Skills Development Bursaries. We acknowledge the findings of the auditor. Appendix 2.5, Unspent Fund Administrative Cost. Chair, we acknowledge the findings of the auditor and wish to report that the balance were funds for monitoring projects. Action taken, Chair. Management utilized the funds. See Appendix 9. Remedial measure. Chair, management will ensure that funds are utilized accordingly. Appendix 3, these are community projects. Chair, management response. Chair, wish to acknowledge the findings of the Auditor General and wish to state that failure to complete 23 projects was mainly due to challenges faced by contractors in transporting materials to site, as most sites are accessible by water. CHILUBI district experienced low levels of water during the period under review, sir. Action taken. Management has completed 14 projects. The remaining 9 are under implementation. This can be seen on Appendix 3, sir. Sir, Appendix 4, 2023 community projects. Cause of query, we wish to acknowledge the findings of the Auditor General and wish to state that the failure to complete the 23 projects was due to the low water levels in CHILUBI. Action taken, sir. We wish to state that the management implemented the 15 projects in 2024 of which 8 have been completed. Chair, 3 projects were not implemented for the following reasons. Electrification by RIA, the project was under ministerial directive, but the amount that was set aside was not enough. Hence, the project could not take place. Front-end loader could not be procured because of under budgeting, sir. The rehabilitation of Mofu to Rumfu embankment, there were no successful bidders, sir, for the project. The project required the additional funding. This can be seen on the appendix 3. Remedial measures, sir. Management will ensure that projects are implemented within the financial year. Appendix 5, sir. Analysis of performance, youth, women and community grants. Chair, wish to acknowledge the auditor's findings and wish to state that some applicants were unsuccessful as they did not attach necessary requirements. Action taken, sir. Wish to report that a reconciliation of performance was undertaken. The results are shown on the table below, sir. Appendix 8, sir, performance analysis on the soft loans. Chair, wish to acknowledge the findings of the Auditor General and wish to state that some applicants did not attach the necessary requirements. Action taken, sir, that I wish to report to you, sir, that a reconciliation of performance was undertaken, and this is shown on the table below. Chair, Appendix 9, failure to recover loans. Chair, query, this was due to non-adherence to the loan agreement entered into by the beneficiary and the bank. Attached individual statements and the loan agreement forms. Action taken, Chair. Management has engaged with the bank and has recovered so far 1,079,000 kwacha and 858.37 way from both 2022 and 2023 CDF beneficiaries. This can be seen at the appendix, Chair. Action. Remedial measures are
Appendix what?
Management will ensure that loan recoveries are done in time.
Sir, you read Appendix. Did you finish that sentence on page 15? Action taken.
Appendix 10, sir.
Page 10 there.
Yeah. Appendix 10. Thank you very much, Chair. I submit.
Thank you very much. Honourable members, questions, points of clarification. The Honourable Karogo.
Thank you very much, Chair. To the Town Council, thank you for submission. Chair, with your indulgence, may I take the committee, page 35.
Committee, page 35.
Query number I on page 35, failure to avail ownership documents. Chair, on the cause of query, they are telling us that management acknowledges the Auditor General's findings and wishes to state that the beneficiaries, upon receipt of funds, moved to procure the assets which upon their delivery did not adequately secure the receipts, leading to a challenge in presenting the ownership documents at the time of audit. On the action taken, asset management wrote to all the beneficiaries requesting them to transfer ownership of all equipment procured using CDF funds. Ownership has since been transferred to local authority. Chair, here my question is, goes to the, where is the Director Finance and the Procurement Officer? Director Finance, why did you transfer funds to the beneficiaries when you knew that yourselves as a local authority you are supposed to procure this equipment? The CDF guidelines and the Act are very straightforward on this, but why did you do that? Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Council Secretary?
Yes, thank you very much, Chair. I may refer this to my officer, Director Finance and Procurement.
Director Finance?
Thank you, Chair. We did not procure on behalf of the cooperative which had applied for loans. What we did, we just paid, when they applied, we instructed the bank to work on those loan application and analyze them. Upon signing the agreements with the bank dispersed the money into cooperative bank accounts.
Honorable Mulunda?
Chairperson, I think so according to the CDF guidelines, who is supposed to own those equipment? Is it the bank or the local authority?
DF?
It's the local authority, sir.
So, but why did you do what you did?
To your question, what is she still thinking, Chairperson? Why did she do what she did? Do they have the documents of the equipment, I mean procured using those funds? Do they have the documents at least to show that these equipments, they belong to the council, this is money, I mean council money? So do you have the documents after procurement of those equipments by the bank?
Council Secretary, before you answer, I want to appeal to your souls and emotions. We are a serious committee. Here where you have come, you are a director of finance, you are a procurement officer, you are auditor, you are council secretary, you are engineer. In your positions, you should be responding. You are the ones who were responsible for these transactions. I want to appeal to you. Please kindly respond. Tell us why you did what you did. Director of Finance.
Thank you, Chair. The main reason we didn't procure those documents as a council, we had a lot of loan applicants. Most of the applicants didn't get the amount in full to procure that equipment. So they had to top up and go and purchase.
Honorable Mulunda.
Madam DF, are you sure you know what you're talking about? I'll give you a scenario. If they wanted to buy a motorbike that is costing 25,000, you give them a 10,000, they can put a 15,000. Who owns that? Are you trying to help them to get away with it, or you still want to own that money? Why, if you did that, why did you do that? If people applied for 50,000 and then you're giving them 10,000 and they have to look for the difference, why did you do that in the first place?
Are these loans or grants? DF.
They are loans.
Why did you go against the regulation?
Through the chair, we were following the approval by the CDF committee.
You are the financial advisor to the council. Why did you go ahead to allow the recipients to procure motor vehicles? Let me read. I'll ask the council secretary. I don't want to read because we want the people to know what you are doing here. Read on page 35, council secretary, the paragraph that starts with contrary to guidelines.
Thank you very much, Chair. Contrary to the guidelines, a scrutiny of the list of beneficiaries and the projects proposed
Yes, I want to see what they bought.
revealed that 22 beneficiaries were paid, totaling 1,460.
Is it 1,000, sir? That figure, is it 1,000?
1 million.
Sir.
1,464,030 to acquire equipment, motor vehicles and boats. However, no ownership documents were availed to the audit.
I'm coming back to your Director of Finance. 1,464,030 kwacha donated to people contrary to the guidelines, which says that you as a council, you are supposed to procure and get possession of the documents of ownership, then you allow the people to take possession of those. So you bought people motor vehicles as a donation and you have no possession of documents. Director of Finance, what is your comment? What was your role? Auditor, do we have the auditor here?
Yes, sir.
Where is
Madam Naomi?
Madam Auditor, I want your attention. You are laughing because this is, you think you are out of this country. Chilubi is part of Zambia. These are public resources. Us, we are not laughing here. Auditor, what was your comment when you saw that the transactions were contrary to the regulation as a gatekeeper?
Thank you, Chair. I was just appointed into office this year in March 2025. So I saw this report as we were preparing for this meeting.
Where is the auditor who was there in 2023?
The auditor was there. Mr. Dudu has been transferred to Mwense.
Were you not told that you come with the office bearers who were there during the time of 2023? May I ask the next officer there, when did you go to Chilubi?
Thank you, Chair. I reported in 2017.
Thank you very much. Sir?
Thank you, Chair. I reported in 2020.
Your position?
Director Planning.
Fantastic. Your position?
Chair, I'm Socio-Economic Plan.
Fantastic. DF?
I reported in 2022, June.
I remember you. Even the last audit, same things were there. Thank you very much. Sir?
Thank you very much. I reported there in 2022, but I'm acting Director Engineering Services.
Fantastic.
director was there resigned from the
Yeah.
local authority.
You are the one who was there. You are working with him. Sir?
I reported in 2020. I'm assistant procurement officer.
You were there. Why we are asking these questions is want to deal with the people who are there. And the CS, when did you go there?
Thank you very much, Chair. I arrived in CHILUBI in 2022 May.
Fantastic. And you have been appearing before this committee with these issues. Now let us have the answer from DF. DF, why did you go against the guidelines?
It was an oversight, Chair.
What oversight? What was the oversight? Yes, sir. Can you help the DF?
Thank you very much, Chair. I'm the Director Planning. Thank you. The challenge that we've had as CHILUBI, in all honesty, is that, Chair, we have 24 wards, and so we receive many applications. So in the CDF committee, there was agreement that in order to be able to help our people of CHILUBI, perhaps even though they had applied for so much, for those projects where we felt that they applied for too much, more than what is necessary, those amounts were being reduced a bit. So generally, you would find that the amounts had reduced from what the applicants had requested for. So the challenge that was there was that if we had engaged our own procurement officer to go ahead and procure those equipments, it would have meant that we'd have spent far much more than what was approved. So we thought perhaps if the applicants, the beneficiaries themselves, could go ahead and procure those. So that was the thinking then, Chair. When the audit came out, we realized that we were in the wrong. That's why we made we acted on it to ensure that we had written to these beneficiaries to correct what we had done wrong. Moving forward, Chair, this will not happen.
No, we are here. We're not moving. We want to look at what happened. Have you taken possession of the equipment?
We initiated the process.
No, this is 2025. This is 2023 audit query. Have you, after realizing you were audited in 2024, have you taken possession of ownership of these properties or equipment?
What we've done, Chair, is what you've seen, what we've attached, that we have those ownership agreement forms, the transfer forms. At least the transfers have been done. So I would safely say that we've taken ownership.
Appendix 6. Where are the forms? So these declaration forms have you amended or adjusted your asset register? Director Finance.
Yes, for the 2024 financial statement, yes.
You have taken these equipment in the register now?
Yes, we have.
They are registered?
Yeah, registered.
Can we see the register?
We haven't come with the register, sir.
When are we going to have it? Can you send someone? Is it a big thing? Get some shots of these, particularly to highlight this, and share them with our secretariat. Next question.
Next.
Honorable Pavium.
Thank you, Chair. Mr. Ndai Jones, may I take the committee to page 36?
Let's go to page 36.
The last query is I. Failure to provide consolidated student list. Chair, here, contrary to guidelines 532I of the Constituency Development Fund guidelines, which states that the WDC shall submit a consolidated list of names of bursary applicants received from applicants for onward submission to the CDFC. So here, Chair, when you go on the cause of query, they are saying management acknowledges the Auditor General's findings and wishes to state that this was due to failure by WCs to prepare consolidated lists. And on the action taken, they are saying management prepared consolidated lists and invited the WCs to the local authority for confirmation. In addition, management sensitized WC on how to prepare consolidated lists. So, first concern here, Chair, is the WDCs are supposed to work with their own leaders at local level to capture information, and before they submit to the CDFC, prepare, consolidate these lists. So here, the management are acknowledging that it's them who prepared this consolidated. Why did you go against the law? My first question, Chair, before I go to the second one, so they can respond.
Thank you.
Planner.
Thank you very much, Chair. Indeed, we did not receive a consolidated list from the WDCs the way we expected them to come. What was happening is that many of them were in their minutes and also in their cover letters. They would mention how many projects. For instance, where we have community projects, they would say that we are submitting 4 community projects. Then they would say we are submitting 5 applications for loans. That was how many of them had structured their minutes and also their cover letters. So unfortunately, at the time of audit, the auditors rightly noticed that those were not sufficient consolidated lists, because the consolidated list should have had the projects, like for a particular ward, it should mention which projects and where. And also the same applies with the loans and the grants. So what we had done, we knew that since we were queried, it was going to be difficult to get the WDCs to actually provide the consolidated list. So since we had all the applications in the office, we actually had to type them, put them, the consolidated list together, and then ask them to come to the office to confirm. So the attachment that you're seeing, Chair, has the signature from the WDCs, the WDC Chair and the Secretary, as confirmation that these are indeed submissions from them. Chair, to resolve this issue, we are trying as much as possible to sensitize our people. If you remember, Chair, this was also a query in 2022. We queried over the same issue and we did not go to sleep. We tried as much as possible.
Just hold on. I appreciate what you're presenting.
Thank you,
and
Chair.
you're proud. You see, I'm restraining myself, especially that I've been on this committee since 2022. This is the same CHILUBI, same outcomes every year. I would demonstrate. And the officers, you are the same people. The demeanor that you show here, as if someone is accusing you, or you are very innocent, but you do this purposely. From the CS to everyone. Someone who's watching you, it's like you are not the ones who did this. And it's just by accident. Because if you say that the 2022 is the same thing, and you're doing orientations or sensitizations, before auditors came in 2023, and you do the monitoring, and the receipt of these applications are coming way before auditors come. You were the officer, the PO, the planner. When you were receiving these applications, you didn't notice that these were not put according to the actual consolidated form? If really you are working in Chilubi and you were there, you were receiving, and you were the ones forwarding to CDF committee. Why did you allow in the form that is not permitted? You do the sensitization, orientation, as whatever you call it, monitoring, then you allow them to bring to your office. Then you say, no problem, this is Chilubi. The auditors, even if they come, then auditors come, say, no, this is not according to the standard. Why do you do that? Planner. You have the socio-economic planner. You are the two people there. Why did you allow before auditors even could come? Sir, Mr. Planner. Who is the planner? You are engineer?
Thank you, Chair. I'm the Director Planning.
Yeah, the two of you. So, socio-economic planner and yourself. Socio-economic planner.
Thank you, Chair. At the time they came to query us
No, before they could query you, you allowed WDCs to bring in this form that is not permitted.
Thank you, Chair. We acknowledge the mistake that we did. From 2024, 2025...
Baba. Next question. Which 2024? We are dealing with 2023 here.
Thank you, Chair. Before I proceed to the next question, Chair, such a fashion indicates that these WDCs were not properly oriented. And if you check just for the purpose of addressing this query from the auditors, that's when they called the WDCs. They have not indicated that they've even taken the WCs for oriented, so that the same issue does not reoccur.
The planner said even last year it came, sir. He's even proud.
So, next query, Chair, page 37. Irregular payment of equipment grants to
37?
Yes, unapproved beneficiaries. Chair, if you indulge us, let me read from the first paragraph. Guideline 5.231 of the CDF Guidelines 2022 states that empowerment applications for grants to the CDFC shall be accompanied by the following documents. The signed application forms by the Ward Development Committee chairperson. Where the chairperson is not available, the vice chairperson shall sign, and where the vice chairperson is not available, the committee shall nominate a member amongst themselves who shall sign the applications. Contrary to the guidelines, the Chilubi Town Council paid empowerment grants in amounts totaling to 307,000 to 10 beneficiaries whose application forms were not approved by the CDFC. Chair, on the cause of query, they are saying management acknowledges the findings of the Auditor General and wishes to state that 10 applications were not signed by the CDFC chairperson at the time of audit. The action taken, management ensured that the applications were signed by the CDFC chairperson. See Appendix 8. So here, Chair, my first question, who we want to find out, because we are not sure now who generated this list, because all the lists, they go through the CDFC committee. So, and there is no way a document can leave the CDFC without being signed. So where did you get this list of beneficiaries? This is 37, page 37. Who generated this list, which did not go through the CDFC?
You should be switching off your mic until you are told to respond. Council Secretary.
Thank you very much, Chair. May I call upon the Director Planning to comment?
DPO.
Thank you very much, Chair. The CDF committee generated that list. What happens is when we have our CDF committee meetings, we have applications that the committee would go through. And when an application goes through, we indicate it on a laptop in Excel sheet. We indicate that this one has gone through. Then the CDF chairperson is seated somewhere where he's receiving all these applications, because once an application is scrutinized by the members, it's supposed to be signed by the CDFC chair. He will either recommend or he will either...
Sir, the CDF committee did not approve this. They did not sign on this. That's why it was picked. So what are you telling us? Tell us, why did you take it? Did you not take it to the CDFC committee for approval? And we are failing to ascertain whether these people are really from Chilubi Island.
Thank you very much, Chair. I was trying to give a background for the committee.
We have a long way to go. This report is... I don't want it to preempt. This report for Chilubi Island, we have not even started, so we want you to be on the point. Honorable members asked, be precise, answer the question, we go to the next one.
Chair, it was an oversight. 10 applications may not have been signed when he was signing the others, but we ensured that they were signed after the meeting.
That is contrary to the regulation. You did not have them signed.
Sure.
So very difficult to ascertain whether these are children, your own children, or other people's children whom you didn't want to disclose. You gave them. We are counting. Honorable Mwanza, be active today. I'll ask you shortly when we come to... yes. So Pavuma...
Yes, Chair. The director has mentioned something that has... you are saying when you are putting on Excel, you call the CDFC chairperson, he will sit somewhere. That is what you just submitted. He will sit somewhere, then after you finish it, you ask him to sign. That's a process you do in Chilubi? That is what you just submitted.
Thank you, Chair.
How do you do it, maybe?
It's an Excel sheet. The Excel sheet is beamed. It's beamed for every member to be able to see. So whatever we decide in there, we already have an Excel sheet that has all the applications. So we read application by application, going by the Excel sheet, which is also followed up with the actual application forms that we have. So when an application form is scrutinized, and if members are satisfied, then on the Excel sheet we would indicate that this one is complete. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Member for Savonga, then Honorable Mwanza.
Director, I don't understand why you people want to make your life difficult. Just why? Because look, you were with the auditors maybe for a week or 2 weeks. You mean you couldn't get the CDF chairperson to sign and drop this query? It was impossible to do that.
They operate as if they are not part of this government from the way things are happening. A simple question from Honorable Mlunda. You want to bring the Excel as if it's a jargon we don't understand. Why don't you just go that these are the applications, CDF committee chairperson, sign here. The auditors will have them signed because from there. Why you are hiding those 10 applicants? There is a question on it. You want to bring issue of a laptop. You are not fair to this country. You have taken this appearance for these queries as one of the business that you have to undertake. Deliberately, it brings question to who you are. What type of officers you can be doing this? Contrary to regulations. Next. Dr. Maza.
Thank you, Chair. Well, I'm just amazed with the way Chilubi is not following the laid down procedures. Maybe to just to add on what has already been said, page 1.
Let's go to page 1.
just an example of community projects. So the CDFC needs to receive a complete application and recommend the projects. So on page 1, contrary to the requirement, 18 projects costing 7,151,352 were approved and recommended by the CDFC committee without signed minutes from the zonal assembly meetings and ward development committees. So this defeats the purpose of decentralization, that the grassroots identify the project and it is signed by WDCs, taken to CDFC, and CDFC approves and recommends to PLGO for approval. So this is one of the examples. I've just been following about the loans, also what you've been, also on page 2, irregular amendments or variation without approval. There are about 15 contracts. So these contracts that were ongoing, the 15 contracts, the total amount was 6,166,879. Then they were varied to, with an increment of 236,808 kwacha, without written authorization of the appropriate approval authority and approval of the Treasury and the legal advice of the Attorney General. See the table below. These 15 projects, they did some variations with the little increments, 17,000, like the first one, completion of 1x3 classroom at Kapampa Primary School, 17,280. Anyway, just on these two, I just want to find out.
Yes, stop there. We get the wisdom.
What is the motive to act without following laid down procedures?
Council Secretary, page 1, contrary to requirements, 18 projects costing 7,151,352 were approved and recommended by the CDF committee without signed minutes from zonal assembly meetings and ward development committees. Why? Second, irregular amendment or variation without approval. Contrary to the Act, the amended 15 projects, 15 contracts costing 6,166,879, you amended to 6,403,688 without written authorization of the appropriate approval authority and the approval of the Treasury and the legal advice of the Attorney General. No Attorney General as per requirement. You just in CHILUBI Island, you sit and you make variations without PROGO, without anyone. You are an authority on your own. You are running things there in CHILUBI. Council Secretary, help us. What motivates you? From the time we started, is contrary to the regulation, you do this. Contrary to do this. What is happening, Mr. Piri, in CHILUBI Island?
Thank you very much, Chair. On the variation of the variation without approvals, Chair, we based our decision on the circular from the ministry, sir.
Dated
we used the guidance of the circular number 101/22/151 of 2023 from the ministry.
Dated?
It was the 27th February 2023, sir.
That circular, what is it saying? Read for us and the public to know.
Appendix. Yeah?
And tell us when the contracts were given. These 15 contracts.
This letter from the ministry was 27th February 2023 to all town clerks, council secretaries, city, municipal and town councils, Republic of Zambia, approval of a variation of estimates of expenditure and disbursed funds within the constituency development fund program in local authorities. I read it all?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Following the issuance of the Treasury and Financial Management Circular number 4 of 2023 by the Secretary to the Treasury, you are being informed that the Treasury has issued Circular number 6 of 2023 that supersedes it. In line with Section 4(3) of the Public Financial Management Act number 1 of 2018, my office has been authorized by the Secretary to the Treasury to approve the variation of estimates of expenditure and disbursed funds within the CDF program. The ceiling of 25%, which was provided in the earlier circular, has been removed. In the light of the above, I hereby delegate authority to you to approve the variation of funds within CDF program. However, you are urged to take note of the restrictions that have been put on in the circular. Further, you should ensure that the variation of estimates and disbursed funds does not negatively affect the delivery of output targets from the varied sub-programs. Signed, Mambo B. Amaundu, PS Administration, Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development.
The 15 projects, when were they approved? Honorable Muna, addition, as you look for the date of the approval of the 15 projects.
In addition to that, that letter, what is the ceiling on that letter on which you can do the variation? What's the ceiling? Because we are talking of 6 million here.
Chair, the ceiling initially was 25%, but this one was removed.
When were the projects in question, 15 of them, approved?
Chair, they were approved in 2022.
2020?
22.
Speak up, 2020?
22, Chair.
Before the circular?
Yes, sir.
Now you see why auditors queried this. The other query which Dr. Mwanza said is on the first page. Contrary to the guidelines, 18 projects worth 7,151,352 were approved and recommended by the CDF committee without what development committees having proposed them or having minutes for them, even the zonal meetings. Contrary to that, there you have no regard for the WDCs. Just you yourselves, you sit and start identifying projects without the WDCs in Chilubi Island. Is that in order?
Chair, let me invite my...
No, you are the council secretary. You are. The buck stops at you. You must be responsible. This is your own. What is your comment before we invite the DPO? What is your comment, your own wisdom over these revelations? Sir.
Thank you very much, Chair. We admit the oversight, Chair.
What oversight?
That the minutes were not signed from the zonal assembly meetings and the WTC, sir.
If that, Dr. Manza, then Honorable Munda, short one. Then Dr. Manza.
I just wanted to bring the internal auditor in this query that we are asking the CS now.
The auditor is a new person. She just came this year. Is it last year?
So, and it's fine. She's fine.
She's a new person. She wasn't
Did
there.
you see this anyway? Have you seen it before? Or you have just seen it today in this room? Your mic? Your mic?
Yes, I saw it as we were preparing it 2 weeks ago.
What did you say? It was what under the
We cannot, yeah. But I think what before Dr. Manza, you see, if you have gone to Chirui for the first time, this is how they are. Go and check the other report. Him and myself have been here, these people. And if you are the auditor now, this is what you have faced. So we want you to learn and see your superiors, what they are doing. You are innocent from this interaction. Dr. Manza.
On the same page 1, management is saying that management acknowledges the findings of the Auditor General and wishes to state that this was due to a separation of the documents at the review stage of the committee sittings, which were not secured in time for submissions. And the action they have taken is that management undertook a search and retrieved the missing minutes. In addition, management procured 2 more filing cabinets for CDF documents to address the challenges. So Appendix 1.
Let's see the cabinets, CS.
Appendix 1, we have minutes that were handwritten and part of this submission. So, quite bulky, Chair, but anyway, these 18 projects, where is the approval list by the CDFC committee? Because we want to know the date at which these 18 projects were approved.
Simple question, CS. Where is the approval? CDFC?
Thank you, Chair. Director Planning.
Thank you, Chair. Unfortunately, we didn't carry the approval letter for those projects.
Why?
18 projects. So the projects that are queried are 18, and even the amount is 7,151,000. You could bring such evidence to show that you approved these 18 projects and they equal to this amount and the date of approval. Anyway, I'm sure you can tell us the date.
And also share with us the evidence of the 2 cabinets that you procured.
Thank you very much, Chair. That information can be provided, Chair, in due course.
No. Why do you want in due course?
Chair, we didn't, unfortunately, we didn't carry the approval letter as requested by the Honourable.
It is me who is chairing this committee. Don't guide us what to do. This committee is asking you. You are saying you bought cabinets. Just a story like that. Can we have evidence of the receipts and the pictures of the cabinets that you procured? And we want the approval of the CDF committee. 7 million involved here. 18 projects. Auditors, they raise a red flag. They have seen there is a problem in the management of projects. So this committee wants to see, and the people of Chilubi Island, and the people of Zambia, they want to see where is the evidence of the CDF committee. On page 2, you had 15 projects which had no authority, approved in 2022. You didn't follow guidelines. You just wait, you did wrong things, and you wait for a secular for 2023, and you want to give it, no, we were guided by 2023. These are 2022 projects. Worth 6 million, Mr. Piri. So we want evidence. We are an evidence-based committee. When you do, you just tell us appendix, so that is the information. Help us.
Thank you very much, Chair. With your guidance, Chair, they can screenshot that evidence. We will avail to the committee. Sir.
Just before we wind up.
Yes, sir.
They can do so.
Yes, sir.
Honorable Munda, have a question on the same. Your mic.
I just feel very disappointed with the responses that are coming from your witness, Chairperson. If you look at the serious amounts of money that are involved, just on these 2 queries, you cannot, as management, sit and say, for instance, management acknowledges the findings of the Auditor General and wishes to state that it was due to separation of documents at the review stage, the committee sitting, which are not secured in time for submission. You can't, Chairperson, you can't admit this. You can't admit this response.
Now, before you proceed, sir, I'm equally touched.
You can't.
The amounts involved, Honorable Mulonda, is quite, worrisome, You see, you have seen projects or councils where they have 1 project or 2 projects. Now, you're talking about how many projects? 18, then 15. Now, even the 15 that you went against the regulation, you went against your regulation to vary. Can you share with us the initial costs of these 15 projects? Page 2. The initial costs, the status before variation, the names of the contractors. We want to know. The people of Chilubi identified. Your mic? Sorry. Yes, I will give you back. I just want to prepare before I give back to Honorable Mulonda. These projects were initiated and approved in 2022. Contrary to the regulation, you did a variation without authority. Then, those variations you did, they adjusted the... We want to appreciate project by project. Let me read one of them, page 2. Page 2, Kapampa Primary School, 1x3 classroom block. Contract price 524,516. Variation 17,002. What? We want to know now the current state and the IPCs, this contractor's name and the IPCs that were assigned, how much work is remaining, the scopes of work remaining, and the contract final price. The other contractor is, project is Tandabube Community School, 531, a variation of 16,900. We want to know the dates of the variations you did yourselves and the status of the project. The IPCs there, if they are completed, we want to know the completion certificates signed with the contractors. Chembe Primary School, number 4. Mofu Primary School, number 3. Number 5, Kasali Primary School. Number 6, Chitupira Primary School. Number 7, Health Post at Maela. Number 8, construction of a rural health post at Mutimba. 9, construction of a rural health post at Mwapikalunga. construction of a rural health post at Misuse. Another number 11, health post at Mwana Kasambi. 12, Kabangwe health post. 13, Chiwele health post. 14, Chilamba health post. 15, Chiwombwe health post. We want to know the accounts of these contracts, contract by contract. Initial price, contractor name, the date of commencement, expected date of completion, contractor, and the contract document signed with the council. Each contract documents of the 15. Then the variations, the date of the variation, authority from the CDF committee to vary the said. This should be done. I think this report, Dr. Mwanza. Dr. Mwanza.
Yeah, okay. So we might go to page. Okay, on the same page 2, where I was showing the variations, there's one thing which is very peculiar. I've calculated the percentage increase in the original contract price. For example, Kampampa Primary School, this 1x3 classroom block, the contract price was 524,516. Then is a variation of 17,208. The next one, 531, 500, variation is 16,900 kwacha. The total amount for all these variations on 15 contracts is 236,809. When we've calculated the percent increase, it's just 3%. It's constant. It's about 3% of the original contract price. There's that variation. And if you look at, Chair, if you look at the value of this variation, you wonder what impact it will bring to the project in terms of improving the efficiency of the project. Because you're talking of, for example, project number 9, the variation is 8,000 kwacha. So on a project, you vary to 8,000 kwacha, which means what scope of work will 8,000 kwacha do to to a project that had the original cost of 536,000 kwacha. So the question is, what was the impact of these minimal variations on these 15 projects? Just general, a general reason as to why the variations were so minimal, just 3%.
CS and Director of Finance.
Thank you very much, Chair. Maybe I call upon Director Engineering.
Engineering. Yeah, you are there. 3% variation, 8 pin. Did this money go to the contractors or it was shared amongst ourselves? One would suspect. The total variations on 15 projects, 230 something. Director Engineering.
Thank you very much, Chair. Maybe I can give an outlook, geographical position of Chilubi itself as I respond to this question. I think the district itself, Chair, is in 3 categories. We've got the area called the mainland, where we've got accessibility throughout with the road transport. We've got the area called the island. The island, you won't reach there using water transport. And we've got areas called the swamps that are specifically use water transport. And I think in the report, when my CS was presenting, you could see that once there is low water levels, contractors were finding a challenge to transport materials.
You are right.
Sure. Then coming back to the concern from the honorable member, I wish to admit, Chair, is that these were 2022 approved CDF projects, the 15 of them, but the implementation was in 2023. So the approval of this project, the assumption was that part of the contribution was to come from community contribution. Hence, there was that variation. Some could say the community maybe have the odd guidance, perhaps, of community have the already bent pan bricks, then just the other materials to use. But later on in 2023, there were changes, Chair. There were changes, and we advised that we should go in full contract way. And this now affected the contract sum area on submitted. I think if you look at one of the minutes which are done by the procurement committee held, there was this submission to the district procurement committee to request for those variations. Hence, Chair, maybe you see that the variation were not even much, because the initial application from the community, as in 2022, where those communities who say we already have bent pan bricks, we are able to bring river sand and so forth. But at actual implementation now in 2023, this could not be seen by the community, Chair. That's my submission. Hence, you see a good number these that needed variation so that we can complete them on time. And in terms of progress, I've attached the progress report in Appendix 2, where it's indicating those that have been completed. I think completion certificate have been attached under Appendix 2, like the Chembe Primary School, Mofu, and the rest. I think there is an attachment under Appendix, Chair, I think for exactly this is under Appendix 3. There are two progress reports. The one I write in 2022, and the other report is I writing the 2023 progress report, the stage and the status. Like you have said, you could not have included the commencement date, but we've put the name of the contractor and the initial cost of such project, Chair. And some of the pictures, maybe some could not look clearly, have been attached to those progress reports. I submit, Chair.
As we appreciate your presentation, we want you to give us your technical position. Why the variation was just 3% across? Were the variations initiated by the contractors? 14 of them. Uniform, 3%. Amounts 8 pin, 12 pin. It's quite strange. What is your professional take on this one? All the 15 variation is 3%. Were they initiated by the contractors, or is the council that felt pity for the contractors and gave out a variation to say thank you because this is swampy, we are giving you this variation? What is your take? It's quite strange.
Chair, most of variations are initiated by the engineer department, the technical team, looking at what could be initially the variation itself.
They're initiated by?
The variation are initiated by the technical team or the engineering department. That's in consultation with the contractor. The variation, Chair, these are omissions that could have been left in the area submitted bill of material or bill of quantities.
Demonstrate one. You are
Chair,
messing up. You started well, but here I think we want to learn more.
Chair, like for 2022 project, I'd earlier on brought it forth to say it was more based on part of community capital contribution, where you say the communities will be able, they have already been...
Where is it? We should be reading with you. We don't want a story. Tell us, we are on this page. You spoke very well initially. Now tell us the page where you are reading from.
Chair, I was trying to give the background and also in response to... If you look at our table, one of the management response...
Page...
Let me just pick this page.
Appendix.
Chair, on page 28, for instance.
Not the appendices.
No.
Page 28.
Building up from page 27. I'll take, for instance, number 10. Construction of 1x3 classroom block at Kapampa Primary School. The initial contractor was Tomati Trade Line, and that chair comes...
Just a bit, we want to move with you. Starting from 27, eh?
Yes, building up from 27 to 28.
We are here now. I hope all of... So now, construction of a radio station. You want that one? It was also varied. Read.
Yes, Chair. I wanted more to pick on item 10.
Okay, 10.
Construction 1x3. If you look at the management response, management acknowledges the auditor's finding and wishes to state that failure to complete the works on time at Kapampa Primary School to the committee contribution that was to be considered. The contractor has also faced challenges in transportation of material. This just gives on how the materials were reaching to the site, Chair.
So what has got to do with the 3% variation? We are talking about, pick it from there, then justify why the variation at 3%. And I want you to, I'll ask other people here, honorable members, me where I'm seated and the experience I've gathered, I'm not a technical person. Variations are initiated by contractors who do say that according to the contract price, the council management would give the engineer's estimate. This project will cost 500,000. Then the contractor will bid and he qualifies at 490. Then along the way, due to other challenges, the contractor will come and say, no. I want a variation because of the following. Then engineers from the council side, we evaluate that request and it's usually put in writing. They will evaluate and give according to the, or the council will initiate to say, no, we have rescoped this. And the rescoping, the added scope is A, B, C, D, which was not in the area BOQ. Now, where is it? Pick one, where you did a rescoping, approval from the CDF committee, and at 3% adjustment, which is 8,000 kwacha or less. Honorable Mulunda, before you respond.
Chairperson, I don't know why we are going around over this. Him is a qualified engineer, and more than 10 projects, each will be varied at that percentage. How can you, as an officer, as a qualified engineer, who is supposed to give us the engineer's estimates, in all the projects, more than 10 projects, there should be a variation. Then how is your estimation? To start with, how is your estimation? Because you are supposed to give us accurate, so that what you are doing is you are delaying projects. Because once you have a variation, you deliberate, you go and check on like the chairperson has said, it's the contractor that will say, no, maybe you have delayed me here, the price have gone this side, or no, we needed to add this. And then you start. From there you come back. It has to go to the CDFC for approval before the engineer, the contractor gets that money. So look at that process. Now, if you are doing more than 10 projects, that process, who should be blamed in the first place?
Engineer.
Thank you, Chair. I'm trying to avoid to say I'm new because I've been there. One of the things that I noted, I think even when my colleague left, was that initially the project...
When did you go to CHILUBI?
I went there in 2020, Chair.
2020, this is 2023.
Sure, Chair.
But what were you when you went to CHILUBI?
Chair, I'm water and sanitation engineer, so I'm acting director engineering services.
When did you start acting?
In February.
This year?
Sure.
Where is the engineer who was there?
Is the one I mentioned that he resigned, Chair. So now building on that, what I noted also that there were some underestimation as well on this project.
That's why you set up across the board 3%. What informed the 3%? Council Secretary, give us 2 minutes. Council Secretary and your team, give us 3 minutes. Adjourn for caucusing, 3 minutes.
Good afternoon. You're tuned into Parliament Television. CHILUBI Town Council making an appearance before the Committee on Local Government Accounts. They've made their submission, and some members of the committee are actually asking CHILUBI Town Council delegation questions, or rather points of clarification. And so the chairperson of the committee, Honorable Nyambose, has asked for a break. I'm sure they need to consult on 1 or 2 issues regarding the submission that has just been put before them. We'll take a break and we'll cross over to the committee once they are ready. Good afternoon.
Zambia, a jewel in the center of Africa. Offering a wide diversity of fauna and flora. Zambia's national parks are waiting to welcome you. The Luangwa River is the lifeblood of the South Luangwa National Park. In the dry season, inland pools and lagoons dry up, and the river remains the only permanent source of drinking water in the valley. A wide variety of grazers are forced to share the riverbank, in an uneasy truce with the resident predators. For tourists, these extreme conditions offer one of the greatest concentrations of game in all of Africa. In addition to antelope, the park is well known for its huge herds of elephant and buffalo. South Luangwa National Park can also boast of the highest number of hippos per square kilometre in Africa. As the river recedes, these giants jostle for space in the deep water. And when disaster strikes, reptilian scavengers are more than ready to capitalize on the feeding opportunities. But crocodiles are not fussy eaters, and will happily join the numerous waterbirds in cross-species fishing parties. Pelicans, storks and herons exploit the shallow water for an easy meal. If the action dries up at the pools, there will be plenty happening at the riverbank, where the vividly coloured carmine bee-eaters make their homes. In Luangwa, you are not confined to the range of the game vehicles. Walking safaris were pioneered in the park and offer an up-close and personal wilderness experience. When the rains arrive, the Luangwa Valley is transformed. Although largely inaccessible to visitors, it's a boom time for the animals that can leave the crowded river for private inland sanctuaries. But when the seasons turn, they will once again be drawn back to the Luangwa River. Fittingly dubbed one of the greatest wildlife sanctuaries in the world.
Zambia. Even saying the word is a multi-sensory experience. It somehow captures something of the essence of this special place in the warm heart of southern Africa. Take in the mighty Zambezi River, the majestic Victoria Falls that form Zambia's